everyone. You have arrived at our very first Network Cafe of our 2024-2025 Network Cafe Series. So welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm glad everyone's back from summer vacation. I am Colleen Jennings. I am the communication coordinator for the New Hampshire Food Alliance. Some of you may know me, some of you may not, so I'm glad you're here. As we get started, I just would love if everyone would introduce themselves in the chat. Just take a little bit of time to share your name, your pronouns if you'd like to share those, and the organization that you represent. So you can do that right in the chat. And as I said, you'll also see our agenda is being circulated for today's Network Cafe. That's in the chat as well. So you can start reviewing that as I get us started here today. So just to kind of ground everyone in why we're here today and what we're going to do, I just wanted to share a little bit about the Food Alliance and our work. So the Food Alliance, we are a statewide network, and we connect and engage people who are dedicated to growing a thriving, fair, and sustainable local food system here in the Granite State. So that all those organizations that you see on this page and many more, we all work together to collaborate and advance our common goals and respond creatively to challenges. And we do this all in support of our food system, all in support of our farmers, our fisher folk, our people who are getting our food from farm and waters to plate. So we host this Network Cafe series. It's just one thing that we do as a part of our work to catalyze learning and discussion about critical topics that we're facing right now in our food system. So these are really timely. We try to make them really timely topics and conversations for you all to learn together and grow together in your food systems work. And we do this on the first Friday of every month from September through April. And this year we have no theme. We are just doing it one cafe at a time and really trying to bring up topics and issues that you're all interested in and you all want to learn more about and engage with. So we'll hear about things like today about the New Hampshire Food and Agriculture Strategic Plan. But we're also going to hear about seafood supply chains later in the year. We'll talk a little bit about farm to school. So we're going to do a lot of really fun and interesting things throughout this series this year. So really excited to bring it to you. Our Network Cafe series is for everybody. So it's not for specific groups of people, for even if you're not a professional in the food system. It's really designed as an inclusive opportunity for people to learn and grow together that are interested in food systems work and topics. So we do all of this work as a part of the University of New Hampshire. We are a community outreach program of the Sustainability Institute at UNH. We're very proud of that, and we share a lot of the same goals and interests of the university. We are an educational organization to some degree, and we are part of an educational institution. So we, as part of that, we share the university's dedication to diversity, equity, access, and inclusion. So I'd like to acknowledge that a little bit because those four tenets are the foundation of achieving our core educational mission here at the Food Alliance and also at the university. And it allows us to embrace all the different types of people and characteristics of our communities that make everybody very unique and very themselves. So I'm going to do a little bit of that with the land acknowledgement of the university, the UNH Land, Water, and Life Acknowledgement. So I'm going to read from that now. As we all journey on the trail of life, we wish to acknowledge the spiritual and physical connection the Pennacook, Abenaki, and Wabanaki peoples have maintained to Indakina, which is homeland, which the University of New Hampshire community is honored to steward today. We also acknowledge the hardships they continue to endure after the loss of unceded homelands and champion our responsibility to foster relationships and opportunities that strengthen the well-being of the Indigenous people who carry forward the traditions of their ancestors. Thank you all for joining me in that acknowledgement. I really appreciate us taking some time to do that together. Turning to our topic for today. We are getting a really great and pivotal update on the New Hampshire Food and Agriculture Strategic Plan. This is the first ever strategic plan for New Hampshire, so we're really excited to not only start this process, but to share where we are in this process right now. It's a really exciting time for you all to know what's happening, but also to get involved. So we're going to hear a little bit about that today. Some of you may be hearing about this for the first time. Some of you may have been involved since we started things off almost a year ago, which is crazy. So just with that, I'm going to provide a little bit of background information about how we got here, and then I'm going to pass things along to our speakers today who are going to really dive into the plan and kind of give you a great overview of where we are, where we're going, and how you can get involved. So how did we get to this crazy idea? Why are we doing this? Why are we making a strategic plan for New Hampshire? We did this, we called on the New Hampshire Department of Agriculture, Markets, and Food to join us as a participant in a group called New England Feeding New England, which is a partnership between all the statewide food systems groups like ours, like the New Hampshire Food Alliance from each state in New England, as well as all the state Department of Ags for New England across the region, and Food Solutions New England. And this group works together to strengthen not only their statewide food systems, but also the regional food system as New England. So we're coordinating things together to strengthen both regional and statewide food systems. And the primary goal for the New England Feeding New England project and group is for New England to produce and consume 30% of its own food by 2030. That is their overarching goal of the work of that partnership. So in that work towards that goal, last year they published a report titled "A Regional Approach to Food System Resilience," which some of you may remember from our last year's Network Café series, where we really dove into that report and kind of got a better understanding of the data and the research that was done to produce it. But the goal of that report was to really lay out all the best information that we have about what we're eating in New England, what we're producing in New England, and where the overlap of those two things are. And it just serves as a really great foundational resource document, tome of information to kickstart work towards that goal. It's just kind of this like really solid foundation that we're working from. And we are doing this plan because it was an identified strategy out of this report to continue the work of what we've analyzed and found in the report. So that was one of the next steps that was identified. And each state is kind of doing it differently, and that you're going to find out a little bit about how we're doing our strategic plan. Slide here. Yeah, so a strategic plan for New Hampshire. Overall, it's a way to align our community, streamline efforts to, pass policies, get funding, streamline our work and kind of work from the same playbook. Nicole always says that, and I think it's a really easy way to understand what something like this, something that seems big and overwhelming. It's really just a playbook for us to be working together to achieve all of our individual goals and our collective goals as a food system. And that is our hope. That is our hope as we develop this plan, that we can really join hands around it and use it as kind of a way to guide our work in the coming years. So the first big step towards creating this plan was assembling a team. We have received funding from the New Hampshire Department of Agriculture, Markets, and Food, as well as the New Hampshire Charitable Foundation to fund this work and bring together this amazing advisory committee of over 26 organizations and businesses part of our food system. You see some of them here on this slide, but that's not even a quarter of them. There's so many great organizations and businesses that are helping us do this, and as well as our equity advisors, which are 6 individuals that are really uniquely qualified to advise on the equity issues. As we're using equity as a lens. You'll hear a little bit about that in a bit, but using equity as a lens across this plan to really ensure that everyone's voices are heard, and we've centered equity in all areas that we possibly can. So we have these amazing group of people, this amazing advisors and advisory team. And we've also tapped the awesome team at the FoodWorks group to help us along our way here, as we know this is a big process and we definitely needed some advising and guidance as we developed our process for our plan. So today we have Wendy Stuart and Claire Erley who are from the FoodWorks group, who are going to not only introduce themselves and their work, but also talk a little bit about how they've worked with us to develop the plan, get to where we are now, and hopefully get to a really, really good place by the end, which I think we will. So I will pass it to Wendy and let her kick things off for her on her end.
Thanks so much, Colleen. Next slide. Thank you. Good afternoon. My name is Wendy Stuart. I use she, her pronouns. It's a pleasure to be here. I'd love to tell you a bit about FoodWorks Group. I founded the company about 13 years ago. We are a nationally focused, women-owned advisory firm. We measure, strategize, and support equitable and sustainable progress across the food system. So we help clients solve operational challenges and with a goal toward accelerating success, maximizing impact, and adapting to the fast-paced evolution of regional food systems. Next slide, please. So FoodWorks Group is a mission-driven food systems consultancy. We are made up of a small and mighty team of women across the country who have all been operators or worked in food systems prior to joining the firm. We've had boots in the field, clogs in the warehouse, slip-resistant shoes in the kitchen. Some of us have run food hubs. Some of us are chefs by trade. Some have farmed. We've worked in food banks, catering, and institutional food service. Next slide, please. As a firm, in the last 4 years alone, we've worked with more than 30 food hubs, 20 shared use commercial kitchens, and food and farm business incubator programs, 15 co-manufacturers and value add processors, and several farmers markets and food halls. We've done this work across 20 states and the District of Columbia. And I'd just briefly like to tell you about a few examples of our recent work. Southeast Conference, an economic development corporation with a focus on Southeast Alaska, engaged FoodWorks Group to help assess the feasibility of a mariculture facility on Prince of Wales Island to support both food security and economic development in this really challenging rural remote region. And the construction of this facility will begin in 2025. Another project is the Eastern Food Hub Collaborative, which some of you may know about. FoodWorks Group helped launch the EFC in 2019 with 15 hubs on the East Coast, a geography from South Carolina to Maine. We contributed to the development of the collaborative's foundational documents, their standards, their equity statement, and shared goals. And a primary goal of this collaborative is to increase transactions and create efficiencies through shared resources. Additionally, working with the EFC, we facilitated a 3-day convening in the spring. And based on the information collected, we just developed their first strategic plan. And a third project, also in your neck of the woods, is Berkshire Agriculture Ventures. Berkshire Ag engaged FoodWorks Group to explore the need for increased USDA certified value-added meat processing capacity and cold storage in the Berkshire-Taconic region, as well as how to best meet the demand for livestock producers in Connecticut, Massachusetts, New York, and Vermont. So that is a little bit about us. Now I would like to hand it over to my colleague Claire Erley to share more about where we are at with the development of the New Hampshire Food and Ag Strategic Plan.
Hi, everyone. I am so glad to be here with you today talking about the New Hampshire Food and Agriculture Strategic Plan. FoodWorks Group began our work on this project in March of this year, but the vision and execution of the plan started well before we joined. The development of the plan actually started back in August of 2023 and really got going at the start of this year with the participatory engagement process that's pictured here. Prior to FoodWorks Group joining, Nicole and her team, with the help of many of you, conducted over 42 events, both in person and virtual, that engaged over 600 people to share their thoughts, ideas, and input on what this plan should look like, what issues it needed to address, and how it could best serve the community. They also worked in collaboration with others who were hearing from communities across New Hampshire to pull out information that would be relevant to this plan, like the New Hampshire Climate Action Plan being developed. Just trying to bring in as many voices as possible while being respectful of everyone's limited time and energy. Next slide, please. That process resulted in the identification of 27 distinct topics pictured here that touch on the products, markets, and issues that felt really foundational to the New Hampshire food system and needed to be a part of this plan. In an effort to continue that collaborative and community-driven development process, we determined that each of these topic areas would become 2 to 4 page briefs that would be written by subject matter experts from New Hampshire and become the foundation of the strategic plan. So each brief would need to make the case for what's at stake, what are the current conditions, what challenges and opportunities exist, what are the indicators of change and improvement, and what are the recommendations that will lead to a better food system. And it was really clear that equity and farm viability needed to be applied as a lens across all these brief topic areas to examine and consider. Next slide. So of all the components of the brief, I really want to emphasize that the recommendations are the key to its success. Each of the briefs are going to identify 3 to 5 things that are in the realm of possibility that will move the needle and improve the food system in New Hampshire. They need to be actionable, specific, and medium in terms of loftiness. We want this strategic plan to be more than just a document that sits on a shelf. We want it to be used and to inspire action and influence decision-making. And as I said, we want it to be useful. So one of the ways that this is going to happen is we are going to be categorizing the recommendations from all the briefs by who has the ability to make the recommendation happen and which goals of the plan it contributes to. So for example, state legislatures, funders, researchers, wholesale buyers, farmers, consumers, and more can come to the website and clearly search what recommendations pertain to their role in the food system. Next slide, please. So just to give you a sense of where we are right now in this project, we have phases 1 through 3 behind us. And that involved everything I just shared about. And now we are in phase 4, which is brief development. And I just want to say, this is an incredibly exciting moment in the crafting of the strategic plan. It is the point in the project where we have pivoted from ideation and structure and process discussions to the actual writing and recommendations of what will go in this plan and the brainstorming portion of what we want it to say and do. Next slide. So developing each brief is a pretty intense process. We are totally in the thick of it right now. But it's an intense process for good reason. We really wanted this to be a collaborative and community-driven plan. And so each of the 27 briefs has a team of subject matter experts that are responsible for deciding what is written and ultimately recommended. With the information and suggestions that were heard throughout the participatory engagement plan, and then of course the support of our advisory committee, we identified lead and contributing authors from New Hampshire for each topic area. And we have over 100 people representing 89 businesses, organizations, and communities that are authoring this strategic plan. I just think that's so cool and just an amazing community effort. So once we nailed down the team of subject matter experts, which that's happened at this point for all of the briefs, the lead is then responsible for creating a first draft, which is then shared and reviewed by the contributing authors. and their feedback and comments become the foundation of a prioritization meeting in which the team comes together to talk through and reach consensus on what belongs in the strategic plan on the topic area that they're assigned to. After that, the lead works on revising and updating the draft. It then gets submitted to the advisory committee for review. And once that is complete, it gets posted on our website for a 30-day public comment period. And that is your chance to weigh in. After the document is revised and finalized for publication, our team will be bringing it together to put together the final draft. But we'll talk a little bit more about how you can get involved and support during that public comment period. Next slide. I just want to share that last week we had our very first prioritization meetings for the brief on soil and water and the brief on grocery stores and retail food cooperatives. And I personally had the pleasure of supporting the grocery stores and retail food cooperatives team. And I left our meeting feeling so inspired. The discussion was incredibly rich, and it was great to see this team of leaders in their industry in New Hampshire come together to align and prioritize on what recommendations were needed to improve local food sourcing for New Hampshire grocery stores and retail food cooperatives. It was also inspiring because for some, this was the first time these community leaders were meeting one another and gaining a deeper understanding of the ways in which these different players operate and navigate shared challenges in New Hampshire. I left feeling like the process by which we are creating this plan is maybe as meaningful as the end result. And I cannot wait to see what connections are made and what bridges are built out of these collaborations well beyond the drafting of the plan. So next slide, please. As I mentioned earlier, we have that 30-day public comment period for each of the briefs. And we put this in place because we wanted to make sure that anyone had the opportunity to weigh in and provide feedback on the components of the plan before it was published. So the briefs are being written and finalized on a rolling basis between now and December. As I said, we just had our first 2 prioritization meetings last week. We have 3 more this coming week. They're just going to keep rolling in throughout the next few months. And so the public comment periods are going to open up for each draft as soon as it becomes available and close 30 days following it. I just want to encourage you all to head over to the New Hampshire Food Alliance website and check out the brief tracker. Nicole just put the link in the chat. You can sign up for alerts there to be notified when a public comment period has opened up for a topic that you are interested in. If there is one thing that you take away from this Network Cafe and sneak peek, please let it be this. We want to hear from you. And at this point in the process, the public comment period is really the best way to weigh in. I also want to take this opportunity to enlist your help. Colleen, if you could move to the next slide, please. In spreading the word about the plan and the public comment period, we will have a social media and newsletter toolkit going out next week to help us get the word out about this public comment period. We really want people to engage with our brief tracker and share their input and feedback. And so we'll be relying on you to help us get the word out as much as possible. We hope you will share widely. Next slide, please. So what happens after the public comment period closes and the briefs are finalized? Well, our team will be working hard to bring it all together into one cohesive plan. But as I mentioned earlier, we want this plan to be used. And so in addition to having hard copy published versions of the plan when it comes out in February of 2025, we will also be creating a digital version that has an interactive component. So remember how I said recommendations are the key to the success of this plan? Well, we intend to have on the New Hampshire Food Alliance website action lists and searchable filters that let users easily see who's responsible for acting on which recommendations and what goals they contribute to. Additionally, it will allow you to search and see what recommendations include state-level legislation changes across all the topics. just one example of some of the ways that we're hoping to make this plan usable and interactive. Next slide. And once we've published the report and made our online interactive experience, we intend to spread the word and promote the materials as much as possible. We anticipate that the 2025 New Hampshire Food System statewide gathering, which will be sometime in May, will be its grand debut and a chance to really take what is written and begin to organize around it and put it to action. We look forward to seeing you all there and cannot wait to see what you all do with the New Hampshire Food and Ag Strategic Plan. So with that, we have a question that we'd love for each of you to answer in small breakout groups and then share back with our team. But I want to just pause for a minute and open the floor up for any questions this group wants to ask. So I'll give a little space, but if we get crickets, then we'll move on to our small group discussion.
Yes, thank you so much, Claire and Wendy. If anyone has a question, they want to come off mute and just share their question, or we'll just keep looking through the chat for those questions. Andrea, go ahead.
Everybody, thanks so much, Claire and Wendy. That was so informative. I am personally going to be part of the seafood brief, but Claire, it was so great. I was writing down all these questions and you're answering them as I was going, so I appreciate that. So I just wanted to maybe put this out to the group that this strategic plan, shockingly, the first one we've ever done in New Hampshire, would be really great to utilize as scoping work for future grant proposals. I just wanted to throw that out there because it sounds like it'll be data-driven, as well as social science driven. So that'll be great. But I guess, Claire, or maybe Wendy, could you just expound on what you're envisioning as the potential uses for this strategic plan for those of us on the call? Thank you.
Yeah, I can take that. I think we are still in the process of like, what are all the different ways that this plan is going to influence and impact change? And as I said before, the statewide gathering is our chance to kind of come together and start thinking through, okay, here's the content we have. How are we going to move it forward? What are we going to do with this information? And I think we're still in that like, what is it that we're going to recommend and what is this plan going to have to say? And the next stage will be, and how are we going to use it? But we definitely want it to be something that funders, people who are policymakers, organizations that are working in this space can rally around, align around, get guidance for, get inspiration for. And I think this is the work of the New Hampshire Food Alliance, is centering around how do we digest and move forward meaningfully once we have this plan in place.
That's great. And that said, I think it would be a very powerful lobbying tool for anyone on this call that does any type of lobbying for the New Hampshire food systems. I think this would be very, very influential. So thank you so much.
Thanks, Andrea. Any other questions for Claire or Wendy or myself? Just reviewing the chat. I'm not seeing any that Nicole hasn't addressed. So that's good. So we definitely want to leave plenty of time for some discussion from small groups. So if there aren't any more questions, I'm going to split you all up. Let's see how many wonderful folks we have here today. Oh, we have about 33. I'm going to split you up into groups about 4 or 5. And you're just going to be discussing with that group this question here, and we'll make sure it's in the chat and available so you have it when you get split out to groups. But the question is, what is one recommendation you think is essential for advancing our local food system? And as you'll remember from Claire's presentation, a recommendation is a specific and moderately ambitious a research question, a policy change, infrastructure investment, increasing capacity for a program, something like that. That is actionable, but not too small or not too big. right in the middle, Goldilocks. Okay, so let's get everybody, I'm gonna stop sharing my screen.
And
Let's-
Colleen, I just want to add that we want you all, when we come back together, to write in the chat what that recommendation is. Like if you all aligned on one, or if multiple people had multiple ideas, we want a record of it because we want to be able to see your thoughts and input, and we can't be in every single chat. So if you can be prepared to just put it in the chat after, that would be great.
Yes, please. Yes, that we would love that. Okay, I'm gonna create some rooms. And yeah, so if you don't get a notice, just stay in the room and I will get you to where you need to go. There we go. Okay. I'm gonna open the rooms now and we'll come back at around 12:45, 12:50, and kind of hear from some folks and wrap things up for the day. So enjoy your conversations. Hi everyone, welcome back. I hope the conversations were good and fruitful and interesting. Please again share your responses to the prompt in the chat, your recommendations, and then yeah, as Nicole said in the chat, this is our last chance to kind of ask some questions. Maybe something came to you as you were discussing with folks. Everyone's buzzing back in here. Yeah, again, share in the chat your recommendation, ask some questions if you have them. I'm gonna add to the chat our evaluation for this network cafes, helps us do them better and provide information for you all that's useful. Claire, or I don't think Wendy's here anymore. Claire, do you have any kind of last words for folks? Oh, you're on mute, Claire. Claire, oh. I think Claire's on mute. That's okay. That's all right. I think we will just wrap things up. Like I said, please take the Network Cafe evaluation. Put your recommendation in the chat if you have it. If you want to email it to us, I'll put my email in the chat. If you want to think some more on it, that is totally welcome. And the last thing I'll say is sign up to provide feedback for the strategic plan. Make sure you're on target to respond to the briefs that are closest to your heart, as we're saying, and definitely invite a colleague or a friend to join us in October for our October Network Cafe. So you'll get a little more information about that in the coming weeks. But again, please share it. They are for everybody. And we so appreciate you all being here today, sharing your input, and hearing this great update about the strategic plan. So have a good rest of your day. Enjoy the weekend, and we will see you in October.